Do you struggle each year with making a resolution to get organized and it never seems to happen? Well, you're in luck because today we are continuing our video series on organizing tips and mantras, which will help you get started, work on, and maintain an organizing project here on Get Organized with Jodi. Hi, I'm Jodi Granok. I'm a certified professional organizer with over 15 years in the field. And did you know that we are currently, as I record this, in the month of January, which is known as Go Month, and Go stands for Get Organized. Lots of people work on organizing projects in the month of January, but you can make that resolution to get organized any time of the year you want, whether it's January or July. So we are continuing with our final video in this series on organizing tips and mantras. In our last video, we talked about tips and mantras that help you during the actual project that you're working on. So if you missed that video, you can click on the link here to check that out. But for this video, we're going to focus on what you do after you're done with an organizing project, because unless you live in a bubble or a vacuum or can freeze time, which I don't think any of us can do, it's not enough to just do an organizing project because life goes on and we will continue to grow and change. We will continue to accumulate new items. And so we have to have a way to maintain what we've done so that we don't outgrow what we've done. So this video talks about what to do after an organizing project is completed so that we can maintain all the great work that we did. So here we go. Our 12th tip is the B side of organizing. So B can have two connotations. B side, like if you are a little bit older like myself and you grew up with records and cassette tapes where you had the A side and the B side. So I'm talking about the flip side, right? But B also stands for boundary. So when you organize a space and you've chosen a home for a certain kind of item, you've chosen that containment. Once you've chosen a container for your items, that container also works as a boundary limit to help you maintain that organized area. So here is a man's dresser drawer where he has all of his shorts, but he also has a collection of t-shirts. So this is a boundary limit because as he acquires more t-shirts, no matter how nicely he folds them up, there's going to come a time where it's just too tight to get any more t-shirts in. And so that would become the time to say, hey, it's time for me to take all these out and review them because I have some new shirts. Maybe it's time for me to retire some of these other shirts. So instead of saying, oh, I just need a second drawer or a second dresser or a second closet, no. Let your organizing give you these boundary limits so that you can get to where you might have to do what we call one in, one out. If I'm bringing something new in, what am I going to let go of? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. That is a great mantra to tell yourself that, it's a good idea to leave some room to grow in a cabinet or a drawer or a shelf or in your bins. So this pertains a lot for my clients that love these stock up stores, right? You're going to Sam's or Costco and it's like, oh, I want to get, 50 rolls of paper towels because look how affordable they are. That may be true, but where are all those towels going to go, right? You got to leave yourself some room. It's not going to be helpful to have 50 rolls of paper towels if it causes you to not be able to store something else where you need it. So give yourself some room and think about this mantra before you go shopping. All right, number 14. It's another little saying, ABC. And this time, ABC stands for always be carrying. This is a great way to reset or refresh any space. Get into the habit of, as you go from one room to another in your home, always look for things you could be carrying to return them to their proper place. So if you're getting ready to go upstairs to bed, is there some laundry I can bring upstairs and put away? When you get up in the morning, before you go downstairs, do I have any dishes that I brought up to the bedroom, like a mug of tea or a plate that I had a snack on? Or is my trash full and I'm going to bring it downstairs? Is my laundry hamper full? So I'm going to bring that downstairs to the laundry room. So be looking for things that you can carry. Some of my clients, with caution, will put some things on the stairs to remind themselves, as I go upstairs, take this with me. Just be careful that you don't create a trip hazard for yourself or your family members. Pickup parties is a great tip to stay organized, to maintain what you've done in your home already. So pick a time each day, set a 5 or 10-minute timer. You could do this at work. You could do it at home. You could do it in your home office. It could be at the beginning of the day. It could be during lunchtime, or it could be in the evening. It could be a family time after dinner. You can even have a musical playlist and say, we've got 2 or 3 songs we're going to listen to. And while we're playing this music, this is our time to pick things up. So kids put their toys away. Maybe you sweep the kitchen floor. Maybe you're taking the trash outside. Maybe this is when you set out backpacks or prep lunch for the next day. But use this 5 or 10-minute pickup party to put things away, get things ready, pick things up, reset a space so that you're fresh for the next day. Time it is a great organizing tip. You know, I have a lot of clients that do not have a good sense of time. So we tend to avoid tasks that we don't like by saying that they take too long, or we get lost in an activity that we think is only going to take a few minutes. So, for example, I had a client that didn't like to unload her dishwasher, and this would cause, a little bit of a traffic jam in the kitchen where there was dirty dishes on the counter because the sink was full, and the sink was full because the dishwasher was full because she hadn't unloaded the dishwasher. And I said to her, well, what's wrong with unloading the dishwasher? Well, it just takes too long. I don't have time. I said, well, how long does it take you to unload the dishwasher? And she said, oh, it's got to be like 20 minutes. So I asked her to take a leap of faith and to allow me to time her, and I would just be quiet and let her do her thing. And I asked her to just unload the dishwasher. And of course, it did not take her 20 minutes. It took her about 4 or 5 minutes. And when she finished and I flipped my phone around to show her how long it had actually taken, you could see the light bulb go off over her head. And that changed everything for her. Once she realized that it did not take that long, she didn't avoid doing that task anymore, which helped her out immensely. On the flip side, I have clients that have ADHD. So they have problems with attention, and they have me over sometimes to work on organizing projects, not only because they like, having the extra help, but because they could get lost in what they're doing. They might say, oh, I'm having you over because I need to pay my bills. But when they get on their computer to pay a bill, they get distracted by their email or a pop-up ad or some kind of alarm going off on their computer, some kind of notification. And so they get distracted if they're not with someone that's saying, hey, what are we doing here? So you want to make sure that you have a realistic picture of how long things actually take. If you are someone who is constantly late in the morning, go ahead and time all your routines. You may think, oh yeah, it takes me 10 minutes to shower and get dressed. But once you realize that it actually takes you 25 minutes, that can help you adjust your whole morning routine and realize, you know what, I'm going to have to get up 15 minutes earlier because I was wrong about the time for showering and getting dressed. So if I get up 15 minutes earlier, that solves my problem of being late. This is a mantra that I use a lot with clients. A to-do list is a wish list until you use a calendar. We all have to-do lists, things that we'd like to do, and they just kind of float out there and never seem to get done. And that's because if you want to make sure a project gets done, it is a lot more likely to be successful if you can actually put it in your calendar as an appointment. So you want to honor your own time the way you honor other appointments. You don't have trouble writing down you have a doctor's appointment. So if you really want to paint the living room, pick a weekend and block it out in your calendar. Hey, this is the weekend we're going to paint the living room. And you can go even further and block out the specific activities of painting the living room because it is several activities, right? You might say Friday night, we're going to put the painter's tape around all the outlets and we're going to move the furniture in the middle of the room and put cover drop cloth over all the furniture. And Saturday morning, we're going to go to the paint store and pick out the color. And Saturday afternoon, we're going to do the first coat. And Sunday morning, we're going to do the second coat. And Sunday afternoon, we're going to move everything back where it goes. So consider blocking out time on your own calendar for things that you've wanted to do for a long time and never seem to get done. The last tip I want to give you is a mantra. The phone is your friend. I personally think that the smartphone is one of the greatest inventions that we've ever had in terms of being able to be organized. You can use the Notes app on your phone, which is a free app that comes with your phone, to store ideas, the things we used to print out and throw in a file cabinet, never to be seen again. You can put your ideas in a Notes app. You can have a note for when you service your car. And every time you service the car, you can write the date and what your odometer said and what services you did. And then when they ask you, do you want to rotate your tires? You're like, well, actually, I just did that, So you can use the Notes app for that. You can use the Reminder app if you want to schedule specific days and times to complete a task. So I can say, hey, on Thursday afternoon at 2:30, I want to work on my next YouTube video. So I would use the Reminder app to help keep me on track. And one of my favorite things on a smartphone is the camera because you can take pictures of physical items and then feel better about letting them go. I have a client that used to keep all kinds of clothes of her daughters because they had memories attached to them. But those memories take up space if you still have the clothing. And now she'll say to me, well, the memory that I want to keep of this outfit, what I think about is this vacation we went on, but I have pictures of us on that vacation of her wearing the outfit. And that's more important to me than just looking at the clothing item hanging in the closet that she can't wear anymore because it doesn't fit. So use the camera, take pictures of things. If you're ready to let them go, but you still want to have a memory of them, go ahead and snap a photo. And then you can store it digitally in the cloud. I encourage you to visit organizingmagic.com for more organizing resources, including our free e-newsletter and information about our monthly Zoom webinars, which are also free. And remember that new videos drop every Friday. So be in the know and click like and subscribe before you go so you never miss a single video. I'll see you next time.